It's the middle of April. We're in Fayette County. Ty Higgins with the Ohio AgNet, and driving through this county, you could tell that over the last week they got a lot of rain. There's a lot of water that needs to find some places to go before planting can get started here in this part of the state or field work as a whole. We'll talk about that now with Matt Hutcheson. He's with Seed Consultants, and Matt, a lot of moisture in this part of the state. I know there's a lot of different soils, but what do you think as far as time frame when guys can really get started around here?
I think we're still quite a ways away from doing any major field work. If you drive along, look from the road, it looks like some areas of fields are starting to dry out, but if you take a walk out in the field, it's still plenty wet. And there's rain in the short-term forecast, so I think we're still going to be out of the fields for quite a while. And
you talk about getting into the field. That's not just planting, that's getting in and doing a lot of other things that need to be done. And you can tell by looking out at a lot of these fields that, some weeds are starting to pop up and some weeds that maybe should have been taken care of in a lot of fields last fall.
That's right. If you take some time to scout this spring, if you're just looking from the road or just from the end of the field, you may see winter annuals like chickweed or purple dead nettle or henbit. But if you get out and walk your fields, you'll see some mare's tail plants that obviously germinated last fall, and they're starting to grow, and they're going to bolt this spring, and they'll take off and grow pretty quickly and get to a point where they'll be hard to control.
How does that approach work? Give me kind of the perfect time frame. If we were to get in here in the late part of April, what comes first, the burn down program or planting, and how does that all work out in a farmer's game plan?
I think what's important is to take a look at what weeds are out there and what stage of growth they are. Obviously, if you're getting weeds in that 4 to 6 inch height, you need to get control of them as quickly as possible. Once they get taller than that, they're pretty hard to control, if not impossible, depending on the weed species. So that would be my first recommendation, to get control of your weeds before they get to a point where you can't control them.
I know planting date's so important, and here we are in the middle of April, and a lot of farmers are wondering what they're losing with every day that goes by as far as yield potential. There's still plenty of time.
That's right, Ty. There is plenty of time. There's documented research that once we get past about the 10th of May, we start to lose a percentage of our yield each day, our yield potential. But timing is just one aspect of yield potential. We need to keep in mind the ground conditions, the weather. We don't want to get out there early and cause compaction. And there's been years where we've had pretty late planted crops that were close to our average, or if not higher than average yields. So it's easy to get hung up on the calendar and dates, but it's important to keep in mind that's just one piece of the puzzle, that there's a lot of other facets that go into that, and we don't want to rush things just because we're feeling like we're pretty delayed on planting.
Matt Hutcheson with Seed Consultants, our guest on the Ohio AgNet from Fayette County. I'm Ty Higgins reporting, and we'll see you down the road.